Polcomxtra, the only show that is dedicated to bringing you up-to-the-minute information and bring you up close with the key elements in this year's interclass political campaign competition. So here on the show we have the flag bearer of another party. In the spirit of empowering women, this year we've seen a lot of female flag bearers among some of the flag bearers for the other political parties. We'll take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll delve into the issues and engage on a personal level. Thank you. Welcome back to the show. Before we engage the flag bearer for the Democratic Socialist Congress, let's take a listen to her profile to give us a better understanding of who she is.
Mawuse Abla Democratic Socialist Congress. Mawuse is a public speaker, teacher, event host, and writer. She reads journalism at the Unimark Institute of Journalism. In the university community, Mawuse has been a course rep and is currently the vice president of the Journalism and Media Students Association. She also holds the title of Miss Communicator 2023. Mawuse's passion for personal and career development urged her to grow by moving out of her comfort zone. This propelled her to take up the responsibility of flag bearer for the Democratic Socialist Congress. Mawuse Abla Democratic Socialist Congress.
In studio by Miss Abla Mawuse Agbolosu. Forgive me, I'm an Ewe, but my Ewe pronunciation is suicidal. Welcome to the show. My first question to you would always have to be the fact that I need to understand how you felt when you were elected as flag bearer for the Democratic Socialist Congress.
Well, a lot of people think it brings me excitement in the moment, but that's not it. I felt like, ooh, now this big responsibility has been dropped on my shoulders, and I have the task to take my party to victory. So it was overwhelming. It still is, but just that now I have gotten my feet on the ground stronger than when I was elected. So yeah, that's how I felt. I felt very overwhelmed.
Yeah, I've seen your party members use the moniker the Woman King. How does that make you feel?
It actually makes me feel good, yes, because it's an embodiment of the ideology that women can lead to. A woman who is the wife to a king is a queen, but a woman who leads is a woman king, and so absolutely makes me feel empowered.
Fantastic. From your profile, you seem quite accomplished within the spheres of University of Media Arts and Communications of journalism. I see you've been Miss Communicator for the year 2023, and you've also won the Casanufo public speaking competition. Do you think these qualities and experiences that you've garnered over the years within your stay in Unimark IJ gives you an advantage over your peers?
An advantage, no, but I would say it's a plus for me and my personality, but not over the others, because I believe that in competitions you never ever underrate your competitors. However, these stages I have raised have built, one, my emotional intelligence in dealing with people, and two, my public speaking. And I believe that politics goes hand in hand with public speaking. You can do public speaking without politics, but you cannot do politics without public speaking. And so it's a plus for me as an individual and as to my vision to lead the party to victory. But I don't think it gives me an advantage over the others, because they definitely have things that they are very, very good in that I may not be good in.
All right, so away from you as a personal brand, let's focus on the party, Democratic Socialist Congress. Tell us about your party and what your founding principles are.
Our founding principle draws back to socialism, the ideology that resources should be managed and controlled by the government. Why? Because there shouldn't be one person overly rich in a society when there are paupers in the street. There shouldn't be one person with one child having a 21-bedroom house, sleeping in one room in that 21-bedroom house, whereas there are two parents who have 5 children and manage a single room self-contained. that the goal of the party is not to achieve equality, but rather to achieve equity so that people can have the most basic needs of life: food, clothing, shelter in the right proportion. And that is what our party is founded on. We believe that socialism shouldn't always be taken from the revolutionary perspective. It shouldn't be taken from the authoritarian perspective. It should be taken from the democratic perspective, from dialogue, from communication. And that is why we believe in democratic socialism.
Yeah, so for people who have come across the political ideology of socialism, you just made reference to the fact that it has always been viewed within the political lenses of revolution, aggression, force.
Yeah.
Let's practicalize it a bit. As democratic socialists, what will be your approach, practical approach to solving national problems?
Practical approach to solving national problems will be to implement very, very feasible policies. Feasible policies that will both appeal to the people and also ensure that the government is accountable. I think this is it. And it needs to be communicated very, very clearly, because the end goal is to take from each according to their ability and give to each according to their need. And so we have to make sure that our policies are centered around this ideology.
That's
that.
good. So since the inception of your party, I know you've launched the party. Can you run us through some of the activities you've undertaken since the launch of the party?
Definitely. Ever since the party was launched, there were a series of events to push the party out, to make the people feel like we are one of them, because indeed we are. We've been to the markets, we went on a float, a health walk, and we went to the market to engage with the market women, to listen to their concerns. Very recently, we've been to the Nima Zongo community, where we also engaged with some Zoom Lion workers there. It was actually by chance that we met them, and even though they are they're working somehow private government, it was nice to listen to the things they wanted us to do for them. We've held a Twitter space, which I think is very, very innovative, because in the political spaces now, these are the kinds of platforms we need to use to gain attention from people. So the Twitter space had professors and doctors from fields of social protection to brief us on social protection, especially for women and children. These have been our key activities so far.
Okay. And so then it brings me to the conversation about your message, which will be embedded in your manifesto.
Definitely.
I'm unaware if you've launched your manifesto.
No, we have not done that
Okay.
yet.
All right. Then would you be willing to speak about it? You might not have to mention a name, but I wanted us to get to know some strategic policies that, because one of your competitors who we've interviewed shared a few strategic policies. So you don't have to mention a name because you've not launched it yet.
That's fine.
But if there are strategic policies within the manifesto that is going to change the fortunes of this country, you can share it.
Earlier today, I mentioned one at an interview we had at Star FM, and I'll mention it again. Yesterday, we went to church. We went to the St. Gisito Catholic Church at Nima, and the chief of Nima is having some sort of anniversary. So to pay homage, the vice president, the current vice president of Ghana, went there. And he came with a convoy. I told my people around me, my running mate, my deputy party chairman, let's count the number of cars that will pass. We counted and we found 8 cars, excluding motorbikes, that escorted the vice president to the event. Why should state officials be using 8 cars, expensive cars, Mercedes-Benz, V8s, BMWs, when people cannot afford public transport? And so one of the policies that the Democratic Socialist Congress is going to put in place is to ensure that the government cars are reduced. When they are reduced, the money will be channeled into youth and education and quality public transport, quality and affordable. And also, these government cars will be used only for official purposes. If you want to use your own car, use it for personal rounds and fuel it yourself, so that the average Ghanaian can, afford transport. That's one of our policies, and I think the rest of them we get to find out very soon.
When you launch it. Okay, that's fine. And so then we'd have to focus. I wouldn't want us to go into them since you've not launched it, just to be fair. But then we'd have to steer away from that. And you are in a competition. I asked the other competitor that I interviewed the same question. From where you stand, going into Thursday, what do you think your chances are from a realistic point of view? I want you to speak not as the flag bearer for DSC, but from a realistic point of view, assessing the strengths and weaknesses of the other parties. Do you think you have a shot of clinching the ultimate? If yes, why? What sets you apart from the other parties?
Actually, when it gets to that day, it's not going to be what sets you apart from the other parties now. It's going to be your A game then. And so for me, every party stands a chance, including mine. The Democratic Socialist Congress definitely stands a chance.
Is that to say that you are trying to say that everything that has been done so far, social media communication campaigns by the parties do not truly matter? Is that what you're saying?
When you frame it that way, it sounds biased. That's not what I mean. What
Right.
I mean is that yes, everything is going to count. But on that day, if you don't deliver your A game,
Everything
you might not.
already doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Not that it doesn't matter. It's going to push you because, of course, people are going to be. We are going to see videos. We are going to see evidence of what you've done. And if we see what you've done and it's so beautiful, it's appealing, it's convincing, and then we hear you speak, we hear you rally, we hear you debate, and it does not tally, then there's a problem. Then it looks like you did not put in a lot of preparation, or you just were not good enough. That's what I mean when I say that on that day, what we all do is going to matter. And looking at the preparations we have put in it, I believe we stand a chance.
All right, that's fine. So then it brings me to my last two questions. The first one would be, I want you to look into the camera in less than 1 minute. Tell Ghanaians why they should vote for the DSC and why they should come out in the numbers to support DSC on
I
Thursday.
believe that the Democratic Socialist Congress is looking at the root problems. It's a three-chance slogan. EII. A. Examine, innovate, implement. And that is what Ghanaians need now. We examine the problems, innovate by doing research and asking the people what they truly want. And then we implement the right policies to ensure that it is taken from each according to their ability and given to each according to their need. And that is what socialism preaches. That is what DSC has for Ghanaians.
All right, so you heard her. But before she goes, let's play the game that we always play on the show. So what we do on the show is that before the flag bearers leave, we ask you to do your ranking. So obviously, ranking of the parties and fair. Then your the flag bearer for FAP, Stephen Kofi Beto, was here. He said he's absolutely sure that DSC and PDC will be either fourth or fifth.
Oh,
That was his submission.
interesting.
Yes. And so we want to know what your ranking would also be. I know you put DSC first.
Definitely.
So yes, so the other four we want to know.
And so for bias purposes, I'm putting FAP fourth. If they want me to be fourth, they are definitely going fourth too. Maybe PRP can come afterwards, PUC can come afterwards, and UAP would be last.
Okay, no, so I didn't get. Let's get it right. So you're saying FAP will be fourth.
Yes, we should trade positions if that's what
Okay.
if that's how they want to play the game.
Then fifth would be
UAP,
Then third would be
PUC,
The second would be
PRP,
PRP.
yeah,
Right.
and
So
DSC will be first.
DSC will be first. Thank you very much for joining us on today's.
Thanks for having me.
All right, episode. Yeah. So listen to the Woman King, the woman who is leading the agenda of transforming our nation to become better than it already is. But she said something very profound. She told us that they have a strategy and it's embedded in the EII, examine, innovate, and implement. On Thursday, we'll get to hear more about the policies in their manifesto and what real cogent plans they have to transform this nation. If you are convinced, share your comments in the comment section of the video and let's engage you a bit more. But thank you for staying with us. In the next episode, we'll be bringing you another exciting conversation with another flag bearer of the party. But yeah, my producer is giving me a signal. He says I should give him a shout out. So yeah. So my production manager, Nana Peppa, helped with the production. And my boss, my senior boss, Augustine Toussaint, was on directorial duties. My name is Moses Desaiku. You can call me the finest man on TV. You can call me the radio Superman. Thank you for having us.